Trigger manipulation. What is it? How do you pull the trigger? What's the normal way we've all been taught to pull the trigger? What do? Squeeze. Gun goes off. What do we do with the trigger? We pin it, right? Then we slowly let go and we listen for what? Click, right? Right? That's pinning the trigger to the rear. I'm going to prove why that is the worst possible way to pull a trigger. That's the way the state tells us to teach people how to pull the trigger. The only thing we're waiting for is that click or that reset, right? But we're going to prove right here. I'm not going to do it. One of y'all are going to do it, of why it's the worst way to pull the trigger. So, do I have any volunteers? Not using you, not using... You already know this. Get out of here. You want to do it, Lath? All right, Lath, come on up here. All right. Just toes on the end of the concrete. Everybody come around. All right, so you see the number 1 on my target? That's going to be your target zone. Cool deal? So go ahead and load and charge for me. So I'm going to have him shoot 1 round as fast as he can with the trigger pinned to the rear. So go ahead and draw. Push off target either way. Fire 1 round into the dirt and pin the trigger to the rear and hold it there. All right, with the trigger pinned to the rear, align your sights on the number 1. All right, you on the number 1? All right, the trigger's pinned to the rear. So on the buzzer, as fast as you possibly can, and as accurate as you can, fire 1 round inside the number 1. Cool deal? All right, here we go. Stand by. Cool, 0.79. All right, trigger still pinned? All right, we're going to do that again. 1 round inside the number 1 as fast as possible with the trigger pinned to the rear. Stand by. Cool, 0.52. 1 more time. Trigger still pinned? Stand by. Cool, 0.51. Holster up for me. All right, downrange.
Downrange.
So, where's my Sharpie? The times were 0.79, 0.52, and 0.51, right? All right, and how's our accuracy?
Not great.
0%. Okay? 0%, because I said it had to be what? In the 1. Okay? All right, back up on target for me, Lath. This time, I just want your finger touching the trigger. So just depress enough so that just right there. All right? Same thing on the buzzer. 1 round inside of that 1 as fast as you can from that trigger placement. Cool? Here we go. Stand by. Cool. 2-8. All right. Find that trigger again. Just touch the trigger. Lock your grip in. Here we go. Stand by. 2-0. And 1 more time. Come off of it just a little bit. Just touch it. There we go. Stand by. Cool. 2-3. Holster up. All right, downrange. So what I say, 2-8, 2-3, and 2-0. So this is we're gonna say touch. So 2-8, 2-0, and 2-3. What happened?
Much better.
100%. Everything's touching, right? 100%. 100%. All right, next time, Lath, I want you to find the wall. All right? So this time, take up all the slack in that trigger and find the wall right before you think the gun's going to go off. Cool?
Number 1.
Say what?
Still number 1.
Yeah, still number 1. So take up all that slack on the trigger. You think the gun's going to go off anymore? It is. It is. That was the wall. Well, wait. All right. Let's do it again. Don't pull the trigger. Just get right on that wall. You good?
Yeah.
Got your grip locked in? Stand by. Cool. 2-2. All right, let's do it again. You on the wall? Stand by. Double zeros. On the wall. Stand by. 21. Cool deal. Holster up. All right. So with that, thank you. 1, 2. Was that the first one? Yep. And then 3 right in there. So we're at 2-1, 2-0, and then double zeros, which is going to be under a 10th because it just couldn't pick it up. All right. So the old thing of pinning the trigger to the rear, right? What is it? In our field, right? If we pin the trigger, what is it time-wise? The highest time. And what is it accuracy-wise? The worst, right? So my question is, why is the state and why is us as instructors teaching people to pin the trigger to the rear?
That's the way we've always done it.
Exactly, right? If I pin the trigger to the rear and I don't release it, who's waiting on who? Is the gun waiting on me or I'm waiting on the gun?
The gun's waiting on you.
Right? It's just a paperweight at that point. And it's the least accurate way to do it because now I have to come all the way off, and what we tend to do is listen for that click and then do what?
Bang.
Whack, right? Smash that, and that's what happens, right? Trigger is like probably one of the biggest things. That and grip is what's going to improve you as a shooter. So it's called in-flight reset. As the gun's recoiling, I'm getting off the trigger and getting right back on that wall. Or anyway, even if I'm just coming off the trigger, we still found that it's faster and more accurate, right? So I used to teach people, hey, pin it, listen for that click, and then go from there, right? It's a horrible way to shoot. How do we break that? If I pin the trigger and I listen for that click, where is that click, like that reset? Like, right, it is the wall, right? It is. If I take up all that slack, I'm right there on that wall where the reset is going to be, right? So why don't we train people to find where the wall is on their gun compared to listening for an audible? You think you're going to hear that audible under stress?
No.
Probably not. But over muscle memory, I can find right where that wall is. I can verify my sights, and then I can press through that shot.